After all that, you still ended up back here.
So the legends were true. The Netherrealm really is a sea of flowers.
Yes. Just like the flower fields we tended to back then.
Is that you, Plixia?
Do you remember me?
I don't have the memories from that time, but I've seen you before during an experiment.
I see. Call me Thanatos, then. It'll be easier. However, since you recognize the name, you must already know everything about Thanatos, right?
Yes. I'm here to reforge the order of life and death in Amphorius.
You know, my sister was a sympathetic, but rather sensitive person. Whenever she didn't want to say what was on her mind, she would avoid eye contact and look off into the distance. Just like what you are doing now.
Can you tell me about the last Era Nova? What did you do, Plixia?
Where should I begin? I suppose we can start from the beginning. A long, long time ago, there were a pair of like-minded twins. As foretold in the prophecy, they were chosen to be successors to the god of death. But fate was cruel. The price of attaining divinity was to take the life of our closest kin with our own hands.
That trial was indeed recorded in that memory.
Then you should already know that my sister voluntarily gave up her own life so that I could ascend as the demigod of death. couldn't accept that. Why did we have to kill each other for a future she'd never see herself? That's not fair. So, while weaving the laws of the new world, I shattered the forbidden bottom line for life and death. I reshaped my sister's soul and took the form of the great dragon Pollux to carry her up the River of Souls and back into the mortal realm. But our fates were already decided and manifested in unexpected ways in response to my futile actions. Aging is an unbreakable law of nature laid upon humankind, created at the same time as death. When the living die, their souls will meet Thanatos, who would determine where every soul goes. If the Reaper raises their left hand, the soul is granted death and allowed to enter the Netherrealm to await reincarnation. If they raise their right hand, the soul is rejected by the Netherrealm and returned to the mortal realm to continue walking the earth.
That's why the Hand of Shadow can only lay down judgment and not embrace another being.
Yes. Death was originally a pair of hands, but they were split in twain when we reached the mortal realm, never to touch each other ever again. The half of Thanatos that represents life, the undying human who grants death, that was the curse I forced upon you.
Then, what about you?
As the half of Thanatos representing death, I shoulder the fate of defying death. I died the moment I entered the world of the living. From then on, my Titan also no longer existed in this world. The cycle of life and death stopped. Souls were denied their audience with death and were left stranded within an ever-rising river of the dead. What irony. My selfish desire to save your life gave you and the world a fate far worse than death instead. Then, what was left of my reason was left behind in the Netherrealm, where I've been taking care of these flowers day after day, until there is now a sea of them, all while mulling over the subject of life, death, parting, and enduring in endless loneliness.
Fate is absurd indeed. Our lives were a mirrored image of one another, like a pair of hands. Even so, they arrived at the same destination. We walked different paths, yet experienced the same pain.
I had hoped that maybe you would at least have a good life in this cycle. I'm sorry.